The sun's beating down on Willow Lake like it's got a personal grudge, turning the water into a mirror of blue fire. I'm Alex Thompson, just trying to tie up my boat after a long morning on the waves, when out of nowhere, this screech pierces the air, sharp as a seagull's cry mixed with a tea kettle on boil. That's it. I'm calling the cops. This dock is for residents only. You trespasser. Brenda Hargrove, our self-appointed HOA queen, storms up like a hurricane in heels, her peroxide blonde bob flopping like a flag in surrender. Who knew parking my own damn boat could spark World War III? But here's the kicker, she had no clue. None. That I own every splintered plank of this dock. I freeze for a second, rope still dangling from my salt-crusted hands, the scent of lake water and diesel fuel thick in my nostrils. Brenda's eyes bulge like overripe tomatoes, her manicured nails clawing at her phone as she punches in 911. Emergency. There's an interloper on our community property, stealing space like it's his birthright. Her voice cracks on that last word, a mix of fury and that fake southern drawl she amps up for drama. I'm chuckling under my breath, wiping sweat from my brow, feeling the rough hemp burn my palms. Good. The audacity. We've all whispered about Brenda for years, the busybody who find Mrs. Patel for excessive curry smells wafting from her grill, or ticketed old Mr. Jenkins because his lawn gnome offended the neighborhood aesthetic. But this was her Everest. The first wail of sirens slices through the lazy hum of cicadas. And my heart does this little flip, not fear. More like popcorn kernels popping in anticipation. What if they haul me off? What if this blows up into some viral neighborhood nightmare? I glance at Mike, our grizzled fisherman neighbor, who's perched on his porch swing like it's opening night at the theater. He tips his faded baseball cap, mouthing showtime, with a grin that says he's seen this circus before. The patrol car crunches gravel as it pulls up, lights flashing lazy reds and blues against the dock's peeling white paint. Out steps Officer Daniels, all 6-foot-something of him, looking like he'd rather be fishing than playing referee. Ma'am? You Brenda Hargrove? What's the emergency here? Brenda puffs up like a blowfish, thrusting her phone forward as if it's Exhibit A in her personal crusade. Officer, this man, this stranger, has parked his monstrosity right in the heart of our HOA. It's against bylaws. Section 4.2. Clear as day. I demand you tow it away, or I'll have your badge. Her words tumble out in a rush, laced with that indignant huff, the kind that makes your skin crawl. I can almost taste the bitterness rolling off her, like spoiled lemonade on a humid afternoon. Daniel squints at my boat, Liberty's Edge, all 28 feet of polished fiberglass and chrome, humming faintly from the engine cooldown. He scratches his jaw, the stubble rasping like sandpaper. Sir, you got paperwork for this. I straighten up slow, letting the rope coil at my feet with a soft thud that echoes over the lapping waves. The breeze carries a whiff of fried fish from the nearby bait shop, grounding me in this absurdity. Paperwork? I've got more than that. Officer. I fish my wallet from my back pocket, the leather warm against my thigh, and pull out the deed, yellowed edges from years tucked away, stamped with the county seal. Brenda snorts, crossing her arms over her pastel cardigan, the one with the pearl buttons straining like they're about to pop. Lies. This dock belongs to all of us, dues-paying members. You're probably some squatter from the city, thinking you can waltz in and... Actually, Daniels interrupts, his voice a low rumble as he scans the document, eyes widening like he's just uncovered buried treasure. The air hangs heavy now, thick with unspoken oshits. Mike lets out a low whistle from his vantage point, the sound cutting through like a laugh track in a bad sitcom. Brenda's face drains of color, going from tomato red to ghost white in seconds. I hand over the full packet, Blueprints? For the works, proving not just the boat slip, but the whole damn pier. Inherited from my granddad, the old salt who built Willow Lake's first marina back when it was just mudflats and dreams. Brenda? This isn't HOA turf. It's mine. All 200 feet. Her mouth opens, then snaps shut, a strangled gasp escaping like air from a punctured tire. But the signs, the fees we collect. She's flailing now, hands waving at the faded HOA private property placard swinging crookedly from a post. Daniels chuckles, a deep, belly-rumbling thing that vibrates the dock planks under our feet. Ma'am, looks like you've been collecting dues on someone else's land. That's interesting. The words land like a gut punch, and I swear I hear her breath hitch. A tiny sob disguised as a cough. Twist of the knife? Last month, she'd hounded me for unauthorized docking, slapping a $500 fine on my mailbox like it was justice served. Paid it? Just to avoid the headache. Little did she know. I was playing the long game, documenting every petty infraction for this very moment. The crowd starts to gather, Mrs. Patel with her apron dusted in flour. Mr. Jenkins shuffling over in his orthopedic sandals, all murmuring like a hive of bees sensing honey gone sour. Alex owns it? For real? Brenda's been shaking us down? Whispers ripple out, sharp as splintered wood. Brenda's eyes dart like a cornered fox, sweat beading on her forehead despite the shade from my boat's canopy. She stammers, "This is a mistake. I'll sue, I'll get the board involved." But Daniels is already on his radio, voice crackling with static. Dispatch. False alarm on the dock call. But heads up, possible fraud on HOA funds. Her knees buckle just a touch, and she grabs the railing, knuckles whitening. The lake breeze picks up, carrying the faint tang of algae and regret, as if nature itself is sighing at her downfall. I step closer, not menacing, just steady, like the dock under a storm. Brenda, we've all put up with your rules. Your notes taped to windshields at dawn. Your midnight patrols with that flashlight like you're the neighborhood Gestapo. But bullying folks over nothing? That's not community. That's control. My voice dips low, raw with the frustration I've bottled up, the late nights crunching numbers to afford this place after Dad's passing. The way her glares made me question if I belonged. She meets my gaze, and for a split second, there's a flicker, not remorse. Exactly, but a crack in the armor. "You think you're better?" she whispers, voice trembling like leaves in wind. The high tide of it all crashes then, as the HOA board van screeches in, summoned by who knows what frantic text from her. Out piles Tom Riley, the president, a balding accountant type with glasses perpetually fogged. He snatches the deed, pores over it under the relentless sun, his face crumpling like wet paper. "Brenda, what have you done? These collections, they've been going to the general fund, but if the dock's private..." The math hits him like a rogue wave. Embezzlement whispers turn to outright gasps. Mike hoots from the sidelines. "Karma's got a hook, doesn't it?" And Brenda? She crumples fully now, sinking onto a piling with a defeated thud, her phone slipping from limp fingers into the shallows with a plop. Bubbles rise like tiny accusations. As the dust settles, Daniel's issuing a stern warning. The board scrambling for refunds. Neighbors clapping me on the back with relieved laughs. I haul up a chair from my boat, cracking open a cold one from the cooler. The fizz hisses like victory. To fair waters, I toast to the group, the clink of bottles echoing over the now peaceful lake. Brenda slinks away eventually, tail between her legs, her empire of busybody bylaws washed out to sea. Turns out, standing your ground isn't about revenge, it's about ripples. One honest stand, and the whole pond clears up. In the end, Willow Lake didn't need a tyrant to thrive. It needed truth. The kind that bobs to the surface no matter how deep you try to sink it. And me? I learned that owning the dock means more than deeds. It's owning your voice. Loud and unapologetic. Against the storms that try to capsize you. So next time some know-it-all waves rules like a weapon, remember, check the fine print. Yours might just be the one that flips the script. Fade to waves lapping gentle. Under that same bright sun, karma served. Ice cold.